was told a long time ago that there are some things in life that calls a man to the front of the line. And he has to take care of his responsibilities, be they physical, emotional, mental, that as a man we all have the responsibility to lead and to set the example. May that be our cry. And we do it together as brothers in Bobby Dodge Stadium tonight. May this night never be forgotten. That Georgia Tech sent a message. Hey, we ain't dead yet.
Thomas keeps first down, breaks free, down the right sideline, 30, 20, one to beat, and Thomas beats him. He's in the end zone. Batted away, and then it's intercepted!
What an interception!
Jamal Golden caught it off the deflection! Fires down the right sideline, caught! At the 25!
Stewart!
True freshman! "56-yarder, just like last week against Pittsburgh. Kick is blocked! Georgia Tech blocks it! The Jackets pick it up back at the 25, and Austin is returning it down the left sideline. Past the 50,
he's got blockers.
Past the 30, inside the 20.
He's got to be kidding me!
And he scores! He scores! Lance Austin picked up the block kick and returned it all the way to the house of the north end zone. We've had the miracle on North Avenue. This is the miracle on Techwood Drive.
And the students are flooding the field. What an ending.
We ain't dead yet.
Choice is the setback, the little wildcat formation again. Tashard's going to keep it. Good blocking. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Tashard Choice. 22-yard touchdown run, and Georgia Tech leads 15-0.
Second half. Looking to throw, press coming, hit as he coming loose. 10, 5, Simpson, a touchdown on the pick six. Ian Johnson intercepts Mike Glenn and returns his third interception of the year.
Here's Donnie, counter to C.J. Williams, 35-30, still on his feet, out of a tackle, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tech! Oh, what a beautiful run.
He had 10 of them a year ago against Georgia Tech. Here goes Washington. He'll pitch it, and this is Orwin Smith. 40, 45, 50. Smith needs a block. Got it. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Jeff Green gave him the last little block he needed to house this joker.
Boy, didn't he do it? Jeff Green do a tremendous job.
Two up on the edge. Reggie sets. He's going to throw the deep ball. Calvin Johnson's there. It is caught. Going out of bounds at the one. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
the truth shall set you free.
Roddy in motion. Here's Washington. This is a counter with Orwin Smith cutting it free. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. North midfield, 40. Orwin Smith looking for the cut. Doesn't need it. 15, 10, 5. They did it again. 95 yards for Orwin Smith on an A-back counter. Here's Washington going to throw the football. Now going to dump it back, and Jackson bobbled it. Ray Bino caught it, kept his feet. Big Bino, first down. Jackson had it knocked away, I believe, by Cockrell on the deflection. And Noonan's Ray Bino caught that thing and worked his way for the first down. Nesbitt brings Jones in motion. There's a reverse pitch. Roddy fumbled it. It's loose. Florida State's got it. And Nesbitt took it back. At the 25, Nesbitt stripped it again. The ball popped loose, and Josh took it right back. Make it a 2-touchdown advantage, and here's Jamal Golden at the 4. 10. Near side 20. 25, 30. Golden, 40. Midfield, 40. Jamal, 35, 30. Cuts back, 20, 15, 10, 5. Our long nightmare is over. Because for the first time since Halloween Day, 1998, Georgia Tech has run a kickback for a touchdown. Their white helmets today. Golden and Smith are deep. Bar's kick toward Jamal Golden at the goal line. Golden looking near side. 10, Jamal 15, 20, 25, 30. Golden 40, midfield, down the near sideline. Jamal Golden cuts back, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Well, we didn't have to wait 14 years for another one. 100 yards for Watupka, Alabama's Jamal Golden on the opening play of the second half.
Getting a long 7 at the 24. Brown helped off. Here's Ball. Give his choice. Sprinting through 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Tashard Choice, 25 yards. And it's a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets.
Just two great blocks. Tuminello on Rutledge, the big guy who just came in, and then Mike Cox.
Here's Washington to throw. Tevin looks, finds it, backside Orwin Smith at the 5, and he's in! Touchdown! Georgia Tech and Orwin Smith. He'll give it to Ray Robinson, trying to sneak, bubble on the football! Young's got it! Chris Young, 10, 5, touchdown, Georgia Tech! Robinson fumbled the football, Tony Hargrove stripped him, and Chris Young takes it to the house.
By number 93, Michael Johnson. A star has been born on Grant Field in Atlanta, and his name is Michael Johnson.
Now coming on the option, wide side. Oh, fumbled it as he pitched the ball. Reese lost the handle on it.
All right, what is going on, everyone? Apologies for missing the show last night, but I didn't have any power. So I figured we would do one tonight because, oh boy, do we have something cooking in Atlanta on the recruiting trail right now. And I about said a bad word. I'm giddy. Before we step into it, though, let me roll through the chat here. See, we got about 15 people in here. BC Guy Tech Jackets, fellow content creator. Man, put a hype video out. That was fire. Welcome, sir. Jeff Brown says, go Jackets. CJ in the house, longtime viewer of everything Georgia Tech. Let's see. Mike Doug here says, oh, wow, a rare, if not first Monday night live show. Yes, I don't think we've ever gone live on Monday night, so this is certainly awesome. Eric Wallace says, good evening all. John Burns says, buy season tickets. Go Jackets. Remember, winning ain't free. Send a check, even if it's only $100. Oh, that's right. Colby says, congratulations, champs. Don't know what you're talking about. I do, but I'm not actually going to acknowledge it. But thank you. Joe the Pilot says, I hope game day comes to Tech while Roman is still champion because he would be a cool guest picker. Yes, Joe, is it Anoi? I'm going to stop trying to pronounce that and making a fool of myself. But yes, current WWE world heavyweight champion, did play football at Georgia Tech. John Burns, I already read yours, didn't I? Welcome, sir. And with that, Cdogg's got his camera just pointing at the. Are you ready, man? Let's bring in our boy Cdogg in the house. What's going on, Cdogg?
Hey!
What do you think, man? Let's just dive right into it. We all of a sudden, and if you haven't seen Cdogg's video on it, Cdogg's done a few different videos on us popping off on the recruiting trail. Tell us about it, man.
You're a damn Skippy. Freaking Jackets are tearing up on that recruiting trail right now, and I'm fired up in the offseason on a late June afternoon.
I heard that. So we lose Jakari Williams, and Duke Watson was the running back. Now, Jakari Williams actually just signed with Syracuse, and I know I was talking to you about it. That 100% seems like we pulled his scholarship, or we withdrew the offer. Didn't pull the scholarship, but we withdrew the offer. I don't know why you would commit to Syracuse.
I thought so at the time too, because we had he decommitted, and then like the very next day we got the commitment from Aaron Philo.
Yeah.
That seemed kind of, and plus, for anybody who's in Bryce Coon's Discord, he was pretty much saying that we probably pulled his offer too. So it was kind of something that I don't know. I always thought with him it was cool. But it was just a weird thing with him because he committed to Georgia Tech like during the middle of the season last year before Brent Key even got the head coaching job permanently.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird thing with him. And then, of course, I was excited about Duke Watson. I'm definitely more upset about that, losing that commitment than the Jakari Williams thing. Because it was kind of cool having 2 4-stars kind of leading the class. Obviously, I get excited for that stuff. I know that we have a lot of solid guys that are a lot of high 3-stars. And what you really got to look at is the offers. If we get a 3-star that's got offers from Alabama and Oklahoma and Florida and Auburn, then that's probably better than somebody like Jakari Williams, a 4-star with offers from, Cincinnati and Louisville and
Syracuse,
know what I mean? Syracuse.
Duke Watson, I mean, where did he commit? Louisville?
I think so, yeah. So that is interesting. I've been paying a little more attention to Louisville lately because obviously we're going to be rivals with them from now on under the new 3-3-5 model. For however long the ACC is a conference. That remains to be seen. But I have picked up a little bit of interest in Louisville and what they're doing.
So we lose them, and so Jakari, whatever happens with him happens. We get Aaron Philo, and if you guys haven't seen on ESPN, Graham Knowles is now listed as a 4-star ESPN top 300 player.
I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah. So that would technically be 3 4-stars.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about the recruiting class. It's like, it's really taken off and getting really exciting. So I can't believe it's just crazy that it's like happening in the middle of June or something. Like I didn't expect it. All of a sudden, we've been inundated with all these commitments over the past couple weeks.
We have 20 in total. Mike Doug with the super chat says, The hell with Georgia. Thank you for the $10 super chat, sir. Definitely appreciate it. And I wish I had like a soundboard that had like a celebration thing, because that's the first super chat anyone has ever done on the channel. Also, if you look right above that, T-Branch has a little blue star next to his name with some special emojis, and that's because he is the first member of the channel. Now, if you're not a member, there's a little button right below the title that says join. You get those special emojis. You get recognized. You get to pick a video topic, which I have the next 10 weeks planned out, but there's some openings. And you definitely, if there's a video you want done, become a member, and I'll add you to the members-only Discord. All right, I'll stop promoting myself. Anyways, 20 commits. And I want to say like 10 probably in the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. That's where the bulk of them has come from, and they all come at once, and it's really cool. And it is. I'm hoping that it's kind of like all the other commits are looking at this exciting recruiting class that we've got going on, and they're wanting to be a part of what's going on here too. Hang on, there's a bug over there. There's a big bug in here. I just swat. I'm in the camper right now. I'm not in my usual setup. I'm in. Yeah, I'm in a camper because I am in the middle of selling my house. So I'm in this nice freaking camper, having a great time.
It is a nice camper. Now, a lot of people on the channel haven't seen you with your new fresh cut.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to go into that, or just kind of let people know what that was about?
Yeah. So, I guess people are real surprised. Does it sound okay in here?
It sounds okay to me. In the chat, if the audio is messed up at all, let me know. I mean, it wouldn't be a WreckTalk show if I didn't mess the audio up in some way, but I can hear you fine.
All right, because it's my bedroom, but it's this freaking AC unit is super loud. So if it's too loud, I'll go in the other room, but it's hotter in there. Yeah. But yeah, I shaved my head because my brother is he just got brain surgery, and he had to go to Boston to get this brain surgery for his seizures. And of course, they had to go into his head and everything, so he had to shave his head. So me and mothers, we all shaved our head for him, and in solidarity. And he went up there and got his surgery, and it went really well. And so hopefully, he's coming back Wednesday, and hopefully he won't have seizures anymore. So
yeah,
that's pretty exciting.
Now he seems to be doing well now, right? Like
he's already up and moving. Surgery went well. He's up walking and talking, and everything seems to be good so far. So hopefully he's gonna be free from the seizures, and it's exciting. So yeah, I shaved my hair, so no more of the iconic Cdogg long flowing hair. Maybe it'll make a return one day, but
yeah. I mean, how many years of hair growth was that? 3 years?
Because I started it in COVID. Yeah, I just never got. Once COVID hit, I just never got a haircut after that.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm glad to hear. It sounds like your brother's doing all right, and definitely all the love and support we can give you. And
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that's shown support to us. And it's been great. I love that. I love you guys, and I love that y'all have been so loving and kind with your thoughts and prayers of my brother. And it seems like they paid off, because everything has gone really well, and all that's left for him is to come home. I'm ready to see him again.
Oh yeah,
I miss him, and hopefully no more seizures.
Yes, sir. I see the Uncle Lou is in here. Says there's a lot of talent on this panel. I don't know.
There sure is, which we haven't even mentioned yet. Yeah. of course, Cdogg and WreckTalk have won the talent show, the Uncle Lou talent show. That's right. And X-Wing, of course. Our buddy X-Wing. We all three got together and made a hilarious, very raunchy talent show video. So it's not for the faint of heart. If you want to see Cdogg and WreckTalk in some promiscuous situations, then check out this morning's Uncle Lou talent show, in which your boys took home the gold.
Woo.
And it's very nice being able to say that, because in all my years on YouTube, I've never won anything. I've come close, but no cigar. You know what I mean? And
oh yeah,
I have a feeling that things are just turning around for us.
Well,
you know?
I don't want to take credit for it or us, but we're going to. I think we started the Georgia Tech ascent and what we're seeing in recruiting right now, because we were second and third in the Slob Olympics.
Yeah.
We win the talent show. We're signing 4 stars all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
correlated. Guess what? When Team Fools comes in there and whoops up on Team Raj at the softball game, that's right. That's going to seal the deal for Georgia Tech. We're going to hit 8+ wins this year.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we're doing Slob softball. So all the college football creators get together. And all of y'all are welcome too. It's July the 22nd to like the 23rd or 21st to the 23rd.
Yeah.
We're going to be going to I'm not a fan of the location 100%. It's very near Athens and Statham, Georgia, next to the metropolis of Carl, if you're familiar with that area. But we'll probably win. Like, you know how Matt Olson is just smacking homers 460 feet? That's what me and Cdogg are going to be doing.
Oh, yeah. We're going to tear their ass up.
Yes, sir.
We're going to tear them up. Team Fools, baby. Team Fools for life.
I got to get you your shirt back, by the way. I've got it right over here.
Did you get one made?
Yeah.
You got one made?
Joey Foster's reached out, and he's making one for me. And I picked my number. My number for the Slob softball game is going to be 3.1415. And any Tech fan should know what that number's about. I thought he was going to charge me extra. He's like, that's a bunch of numbers for no reason.
That's pretty funny.
But anyways, circling back to the recruiting class. We are, if you can see my name here, Rivals number 13 class in the country, guys. In the country. Let me see, who are we out recruiting right now? I got to pull this over.
We're out recruiting like Southern Cal and
Southern Cal, Ole Miss.
For CJ Jackson, we beat out Alabama.
All the Florida schools. Florida State, Miami. Where is Florida on here? They ain't ahead of Tech. Yeah, every school that matters in Florida, we're out recruiting right now.
Yep.
Alabama's 31. Yeah. But, Georgia, here's the thing. Like, again, unless you're a Tech fan, like, you don't really understand how, I think, monumental this is. But when you're coming off the heels of what we have been as a program under Jeff Collins, your whole coaching staff turned over, minus, 4 coaches maybe? Everyone else is brand new, and you're convincing kids that Georgia Tech is the place to be. Brent Key and Cass got something cooking. Brent Key and Cass know what they're doing.
Yeah, so what I've kind of been saying lately is, like, you know, this is what Brent Key is able to do when there's pretty much slim to none, not none, but you know what I mean. He's had a very short time on the field to kind of prove himself. He obviously made the most of what he had to work with. But the fact that he's able to do this and get top 13, top 15 classes without even having a full season as head coach is really exciting to me, because I feel like if this is what he can do with no proof of concept, imagine what he can do when we start winning 6, 7, 8 games, which just hasn't happened at Tech in a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I was saying that this is just the tip of the iceberg with Brent Key. I'm really impressed with what he was doing, because that was something I was worried about. He took over in the middle of the year, and I was afraid that obviously we saw his infield coaching abilities were great, and his ability to adapt on the fly during the season and against adversity, his ability to connect with the players and get them really excited and get them to play hard. That was all really good and sound and everything, but I wasn't sure.
Yep. I think your service is a little shaky. Yeah, it stopped on a great spot too. Okay, you're back.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah, we lost you for about
Am I back?
15 seconds.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Okay, now your video's caught back up. You it might be good. We'll see. Go ahead.
What's the last thing you heard me say? I was on the rant.
You were just kind of talking about the tip of the iceberg.
What I was saying. Yeah, what I was saying is that we saw what his strengths were in the middle of the season. His ability to work against adversity, his on-field coaching was great. His ability to get the players fired up and getting them to play hard and everything like that was great. But, one question that I had was, how good can he recruit? So seeing this is really promising to me, because that was one of the questions I had when we hired him. It was kind of an unknown, because, he had the 23 class sucked because he only had whatever time period it was to
a month before the class.
Yeah, he had a month. He had a month where he had to build a staff and recruit at the same time. And so, you can't really hold that against him. But, I was wondering what he was going to be able to do on the recruiting trail. And I'll be honest, I thought we were going to have to wait until he could prove it on the field. I thought, that maybe Jeff Collins, for all the hell we give him, I thought maybe he really was some kind of like recruiting guru and, not quite be able to match up to his recruiting. I thought Britt Key might possibly overcorrect. You know what I mean? I was worried about that because for as much of a disaster as Jeff Collins was, he had a lot of good ideas. He had a lot of bad ideas, but he had a lot of good ideas, like modernizing Georgia Tech is exactly what we needed. And I was afraid that Brent Key would try to overcorrect, but from what I've seen, from everything I've seen, he's taking the good parts of what Jeff Collins has done and continuing it, and taking what didn't work and getting rid of that, and putting in his experiences from watching programs like Nick Saban at Alabama, and he's making us into a kick-ass freaking program, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, that's actually on the last live show we did, something Bryce talked about, where that was the one thing he was a little hesitant with Key is he going to be kind of too old school and not kind of adapt with the times. And I think Key's blown that out of the water. Whatever he's telling these kids, like you listen to the interviews with Graham Knowles, and even this kid that just signed, Christopher Jackson, I think, like he's talking about, I'm here to build a legacy. And, no matter what degree or program I want to study, I'm going to be set up for life. And it ain't like that at every school. If you get hurt and NFL doesn't work out for you at another school, good luck with general studies, getting a job with that. You know, I mean, there's not a single program at Tech that you're not going to be set up for six. In fact, Derek Morgan now owns his own, or is a partner in a financial firm after he's left the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking through the class here. So the big, obviously Christopher Jackson, we just talked about, defensive end from Tucker, I believe. Marco Coleman's got something.
Yeah, he's
cooking.
like an edge guy he's like an edge rusher that can drop back into like an outside linebacker type role, is what he was saying. He was saying he takes inspiration from like Williamson and Nolan Smith and stuff. So
like
that's really cool. Yeah, the Marco Coleman hire is already paying off, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, you talked about it. You know, he leaves, he comes back a year later. This is where Marco Coleman wants to be. That's what it tells me. And when your defensive line coach is one of the best to ever do it at Tech and had a very nice NFL career, that's huge. And that's really our biggest need. Like I was talking to you earlier, Cdogg. You know, I like seeing us bring in like a 4-star wide receiver, but we really need to improve on the defensive and offensive line. Like that's where if I could choose where to land some 5 stars, it'd be on defensive and offensive line.
I completely agree. And, you know, the 4-star and whatnot offensive linemen, I think those will come. But, you know, I noticed that with Brent Key's recruiting in the 2023 and 4 class, that is the position he started with. And he hit that position the hardest with recruiting.
Yep.
He didn't bring a lot of transfers. I think he realizes the importance of like recruiting the offensive line and having, you know, continuity and a really close like gel teamwork there.
Yeah.
So I think he feels the same way, because he's shown us with his actions in recruiting that's the first hire he made was Jeep Wade, right?
Yep.
And that's the first position he started recruiting when he took over as head coach. So I think he's right there with you, and I think the 4 stars and hell, maybe the 5 stars they'll come too. They're gonna want to play for Brent Key, the freaking O-line man. They're gonna want to play for him for sure.
Oh yeah. Now we also get Treshawn Griffin, who actually liked my tweet this morning, which makes me feel great. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's at @rec_talk. Every morning, you get a little good morning from WreckTalk. I'll tell you what's going on in Georgia Tech football. But yeah, he's another edge rusher, defensive end from Centerville, Alabama. And let me see where I saw a tweet where it showed like all of our defensive linemen that we've signed. You know what I'm talking about? I'll find it.
What, it just shows the in this class or what?
Yeah, like the 2 we signed today, and then there's I think 2 other ones. I'm sure Patience tweeted it out. Let me see. But she tweets a lot. I might have to scroll a second. Oh, we also signed the Greco kid out of Mill Creek, which if you're not, you know, kind of big into following Georgia high school football, Mill Creek is a powerhouse up there in like Houston, Georgia. It's around Winder too. I think that's a kid that because I think he had offers from like some SEC schools too. He might be a little bit underrated 3-star. He's a defensive back. Which is probably our second most loaded position besides wide receivers, probably our defensive backfield.
Yeah, we're looking good there. I'm excited about LaMiles Brooks and Clayton Powell-Lee this year.
Here it is.
I'm stoked.
These young men right here. Landon Marshall, Jordan Boyd, Christopher Jackson, and Treshawn Griffin. That's going to be our defensive line. That's our defensive line class as of now. I've talked about Landon Marshall. He's probably another underrated 3-star. A guy just looks like a stud. Could this be like the 2007 recruiting class where you look back on it and you're like, man, something special there, which we won an ACC title off the heels of that 07 class, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I think we could get to ACC title contention. It's just that, our path is harder now that they're doing the 3-3-5. If we were still doing the division thing, I would think that we could probably have a chance at getting to the ACC title game this year. I mean, we did last year.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Coastal was kind of the easier side, kind of like the SEC East.
Yeah.
And we had a better path there. But, I mean, who knows what could happen, especially with this is what I'm excited about, like, obviously the recruiting class, but now that Key has all his pieces in place, he's got his culture installed now. He's got his philosophy installed now. Based on what he did as interim, how good can this team be? Like, how big of a step forward can we take? I think we can take a substantial step forward. And everyone thinks me and Cdogg are crazy, and they're all going to have egg on their face in December. I'll tell you that right now.
Look, I've been telling them, like, if you watched Tech football last year, you know what we're capable of. You know the things that held us back. Brent Key really had it cut out for him when he took over. He had a lot of things working against him. Yeah, he's got his own staff in there now. He's going to have a full off season of practices, and we brought in a lot of promising transfers. Of course, the recruiting class. I mean, I know it doesn't affect next year, but he's getting the recruiting going. Like, he's installing toughness into our players, which is something I'm excited to see. Something we haven't had under Jeff Collins. If you've watched Georgia Tech football, then you know what we're capable of. You know what we're going to do. So what I've been saying to the naysayers all off season is everybody's going to be surprised but me. But us, who have been paying attention, who know what Brent Key is all about and know what we're capable of, know what we were even capable of last year, even despite all of the things that were working against us and, all of the things that went wrong. The amount of like how he was able to adapt just during the season, I can only imagine, going into the season with his own staff, with his own roster and everything. I can only imagine how, you know what I mean?
And with some depth.
Just the heights we can reach.
Yeah. Depth at quarterback, depth
Finally
at wide receiver.
Finally a quarterback battle. I mean, like, it's like going into the season last year, we had no quarterback battle. We got lucky with Pyron. You know what I mean? Like,
we pulled him off the scout team.
Right. Yeah, that was a stroke of luck that our scout team, true freshmen, could get us some wins. But, other than that, like, there was no competition. And Brent Key fixed that in the first year. And both of them are starting caliber for us. Both of them could start and win games for us. I would feel confident with either of them at quarterback. I feel like they both fit into the system, and they're recruiting guys and bringing guys in that fit into their system. And from what it looks like, it's going to be a pass heavier system. We could even see that during the when he was interim. Is that that was kind of our strength. I'm rambling a bit now, but I think. I mean, when you interviewed Pyron and he said 8 wins at a minimum.
Yeah.
That's very confident to go around saying. I've been saying 6 to 8 wins, but I'm thinking 6 is our worst case scenario. Like, I just don't see us winning 6 games. I think we're most likely going to win 7, and if we have, if a lot of things go right, we'll get to 8.
Well, a lot of people seem to think we're going to struggle to beat like the Virginias of the world, And I just don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, I just really don't. I think this team is a full letter grade and a half better than we were last year. So if you say we're a C- last year, I think we're a B+ or so this year in comparison. I don't know. I'm just excited. Now, also, have you seen this hell of a block party that Cabrera and Bat tweeted out? So let me
I
come
saw
over
it.
here.
Basically, it's better than that stupid tailgate they have on top of the parking deck that nobody goes to.
Oh yeah, I've gone to Lord knows how many Tech games. I've never once been to that, but that is something like that needs to be better too. Like the tailgate scene, and like as far as what the school is involved with, is not that great at Tech. So if we could kind of, I don't know, do more things to accommodate fans, like that would go a long way probably too. But I don't see anything necessarily that like is super exciting. I know a lot of people are like, hey, we need to bring it back to the Techwood Drive side afterward. I actually signed up for what's the message board Swarm? I have to wait to be authenticated though. I also I didn't tell you
Swarm?
this. What's that?
Swarm Pot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I applied to be a writer for From the Rumble Seat.
You did?
Yeah, I did. They haven't got back to me yet though. And I didn't give them my name either. They aren't even going to know who I am.
Isn't the guy from the basketball conference podcast? He's a writer for them, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
You ever listen to the basketball conference podcast?
No.
So I recommend it for anybody who likes it. It's not about basketball. It's about the joke is that it's about the ACC, and the joke is that it's called the basketball conference. The full title is Basketball Conference, the ACC football podcast. But the hosts are a Virginia Tech grad and a Georgia Tech grad. And the Georgia Tech guy he's an alumni, and he writes for the Rumble Seat too. So
yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be interesting. They might tell me to go stuff it, and that's fine too, because I am not definitely not the most professional person that's probably ever come across anyone's desk. But I do love the jackets. I can tell you that.
Well, more power to you, because I've had people try to ask me to do that shit, and I'm like, seems kind of a pain in the ass. I'd rather yell into my phone. I don't know.
Well, yeah, writing an article or two a week is kind of a commitment.
It's a big commitment. I didn't want to bother with any of that crap. We were also talking the other day, me and you, about the Mark Rogers doing post games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
is he creating a Georgia Tech channel, or would that be on his main channel?
I'm not sure. I'll have to talk with Joey. But yeah, there's something possibly in the works. I have no idea that we might do a post game on a guy named Mark Rogers' channel for every Georgia Tech game. It would be fun and interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be on his channel or not.
If it's like a night game and I'm at home, I'll join you. But they asked me to do one of those last year, and I was like busy. I had to go to a wedding last year on game day. And
who gets married during football season?
I don't know, man. That's messed up.
Did you get married during football season? Oh, Jesus.
I got married the day that South Carolina beat Georgia in 2019. And my grandfather, he's the one that officiated, and he announced at the altar that Georgia had lost that day. We were standing at the altar, and he announced that.
You should have just got off and watched the game. Like, be like, all right, sweetie, we got to move this to like tomorrow or something. I got to go watch this game.
Yeah, maybe I'll post the video one day, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But yeah, at least it was back when we sucked.
Yeah, you weren't missing, a lot.
And you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because I was gonna go. It was the day of it was this past year. It was the day of the Miami game, and I was absolutely furious that we lost to them.
Dang. So, what? I know we're both going to do prediction videos leading into the season. I'm planning on like the first week of August, probably.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting to get. Huh?
Have you said? Are you saying 7-5? What's your prediction?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm pretty much thinking 7-5. Yeah.
Do we?
I do think. I don't think. Huh?
Do we beat Ole Miss, Clemson, or Georgia? And talk about that. I'll be right back.
Obviously we're gonna curb stomp Georgia. Those chumps don't stand a freaking chance. Georgia freaking blows. They're gonna be like, they'll be lucky to win 8 games this year. So yeah, we're gonna handle them easily. If you want to talk about real competition though, Clemson and Ole Miss. I think our best shot is Ole Miss. To be honest, Clemson, like, I would predict us to beat them because you know what? If Brent Key or Paul Johnson, for that matter, it really doesn't matter. If a good coach was our coach the past 2 years, we would have beat Clemson the past 2 years because they have been down.
At least one of those years, we would have beat them. Like
at least one, yeah. Probably the 2021 year where it was like 14-8. We probably could have pulled it off, because Paul Johnson would have beat them. Not saying I want Paul Johnson back, but just what I'm saying is a good coach.
Yeah,
Brent Key would beat them. It's just that they got lucky that Jeff Collins was our coach. But I got to be honest. I think that in a move that I never thought would happen. Dabo, fired the guy that he had promoted from within, and he hires Garrett Riley, who is one of the top offensive guys in the country. And I think that they're probably going to be in the playoff and be in national title contention. So I don't expect us to be competitive with Clemson at all. I could be wrong. I think I'm higher on Clemson than most people. I don't think most people have them. Like making the playoff, or if they do, not being competitive for a national championship. But I really do think that they're probably one of the best teams in the country this year.
They could be.
No, I don't.
And it really depends on what does the Tech team look like. Like, do we take a step up in offense and a little bit of a step back in defense? Do we maintain kind of the level of play we had on defense last year that was a cornerstone of our team and take, a marginal or, whatever step up in offense? I don't know. That's something we haven't really talked about a ton just because, offense is kind of just exciting. What does our defense look like? It's tough because we have 2 linebackers replacing Ely and Thomas that just have 1 year of eligibility remaining. It seems like the ceiling is very high as far as what they're able to produce this year, but we're going to be in the same spot a year from now too. Which is why that linebacker out of Louisiana was such a big deal. I know he's a 3-star, but we've got to have people rolling in that we're going to get 2 or 3 years of play out of.
I'm confident in our ability to produce linebackers, and I'm just confident in the Thack attack. I think he's got it going on. There's a lot of continuity there since he's being kept, and it's clear that he was just being held back by Collins. I do think that we probably don't have a defense as good as last year because last year's defense was really, really good. I think we had like a top 5 linebacker duo in the country. I don't care what you say. Like them 2, Thomas and Ely together were absolutely cracked. together, and
Yeah.
and it's going to be really hard to place that. Not to mention Keon White. So although I am very excited about Clayton Powell-Lee and Miles Brooks and what they can do, but obviously you have the two transfers coming in, linebacker.
Which, if
So
you haven't, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do see that the defense is probably taking a step back, but I think we'll more than make up for it in not only offense but special teams. I've been hammering home the special teams thing. That held us back in a huge way. You can't get punts blocked every single game and have, you know what I mean? Or even though Brent Key was able to put a Band-Aid on it, you can't allow teams to run it back on you like that and never return it. Even though Brent Key put a Band-Aid on it, we never return punts. Like, that's got to be fixed. Like, and I have confidence that in the offseason they'll have fixed that.
Well, we have Ricky Brumfield, and not only am I trusting that our special teams is going to be better with him, he's been a special teams coordinator before, he has some sneaky connection and something cooking in Louisiana. I don't know what exactly his connection is with Louisiana, but I think we've got two kids out of there because of
one
him.
of them was a 4-star. Yeah. Picked us over
the wide
LSU.
Receiver.
Super cool. Super freaking cool. So I am excited about that. Special teams, you don't really think about it until you miss it. So I do think special teams takes a big step forward. And the offense, it literally couldn't be any worse than last year. Although I think it's going to be really good. So, even if our defense isn't as good as last year, I think we're just going to be solid. We're going to be well coached. We're going to be tough. And I think that we can achieve a lot. Now, back to your question about the three, I think our best chance is against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss,
because Ole Miss, look, I don't particularly know how good they're going to be this year. You know what I mean? I don't but last year they were not that good. They were deceptively good. They had a really, they were like 7-0 at one point, but they had like a cakewalk in their opening half of the schedule, and they just breezed by all these crappy teams, and then they lost every single game against a team that was good, and then got blown out in their bowl games. So it just depends if Ole Miss takes a step up, to what they kind of could be. Maybe, they kick our ass, but I think we got a chance. I think our best shot is against Ole Miss. It's tough to call that, especially because we have to go to Oxford.
Yep, which I will definitely be going to. And I think in the next 2 weeks I'm going to buy these tickets. So I know we have a lot of expenses coming up. We're both moving. We've got the Slob softball game. But anyways, Ole Miss is an interesting team. Or maybe interesting isn't the right word. They're a tough team to really predict. Like, if I was doing a prediction video for them, for whatever reason, Lane Kiffin has Nick Saban's number. They always play Alabama tough, no matter if they're playing in Tuscaloosa or Oxford. They'll kind of lose to a team they shouldn't and beat a team they shouldn't. I don't know. All I know is that we owe them the ass beating of a lifetime.
They're among the top teams I would like to beat this year. I do a series of videos. Well, I do 2 videos every year. I've done them every offseason called Teams I Would Like to Beat the Most and Teams We Need to Beat the Most.
Yeah.
Teams
both.
we need to beat the most, I basically just I basically just put them in order of who's the best team to worst. So I'll put the FCS teams at number 1 and then stuff like that. But teams I want to beat the most, Ole Miss was last year because I just didn't really have any issue with them. Now it's near the top. I'm telling you that. A little spoiler to that video. They're gonna be very highly ranked on that list.
Well,
because they've been seriously pissing.
First, the statements that Lane made last year. Leave it to Lane to do the right thing in the wrong way, right? He pulls off the gas because he knows Collins is on the hot seat, but then says that he did that in the press conference, which completely undoes any goodwill that was under
he's
that.
just, yeah, he's just a freaking smarmy freaking prick. I don't really, his whole thing. Oh, he's so cutesy or whatever. I mean, it's funny until it happens to you. They did his post game press conference in our weight room, and he was like, "Oh, well, this is a better use for this room," or something like that, as if we weren't besmirching our workout routine or something like that. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? He made a little comment like, okay, I just like to stick it to him, Not to mention that he's tampering. He's tampering with our players. I mean, however you want to do, whatever roundabout way. He might not be texting our players in the dead of the night. He's getting the players that he's taken, and he's getting them to contact the players that are on our roster, and paying them to basically he's tampering he's stealing our players. There's nothing we can do about it. They got more money than us, and it's pissing me off. And I sure would like to kick his ass.
Well, that to me dwarfs just saying, whatever he said about Collins is one thing, but that don't have anything to do really with anything actionable. But as far he 100% is tampering, 100%, and I'll tell you how I think this happens, and this ain't just an Ole Miss thing, but they have done it to us more than once. I think that they contact their high school coach, say, "Hey, I want you to reach out to Jared Ivey, tell him what the NIL deal is, and if he comes over here, I'll give you 2% of the NIL deal that we give him as a
it's
fee."
either high school coach, or I think once he gets the players on the roster too, he can just have them text their buddies on the Georgia Tech roster like, "Hey, you should come over here.
Yep.
They gave me this and this and this." You know what I mean? There's just no way to stop that. I don't know that there would be a way to stop that, even if you were to make some kind of rule against it. There wouldn't be a way to enforce it or track it or anything like that. But that doesn't mean it doesn't piss me off.
And the other thing is, can you really trust a guy that looks just like Daniel Taj? Lane Kiffin looks exactly like Daniel Taj.
You think so?
Yeah, Daniel Taj did a segment where he dressed up, it did a skit like he was Lane Kiffin years and years ago.
Did he?
Someone named Ole Miss Football is in here saying, "Y'all want the smoke? I bet. Kept me outside." Let me tell you something. I don't know if you've seen me and Cdogg, but
you don't know who you're fucking with.
We'll stomp a mud hole in that ass and we'll stomp it dry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. We're going to kick old Lane and Kiffin and his pansy-ass freaking Ole Miss Rebels in their own stadium, too.
See, people think this is the Georgia Tech of old. Let me tell you something. This ain't the Georgia Tech of old. This is the Brent Key area.
Yeah,
right? Era. I'm so pumped up. I don't even know what the words are that I'm saying. All I know is it ain't happening.
Every time I get a notification about a new freaking player we've recruited, I want to run through a wall. I don't know what's gotten into us lately, but it's changing in Atlanta. It's changing. It's a very exciting time.
It is. B-Bean said, "Did Wreck actually just show his guns on camera?" Yes, I did. And I know that it almost broke the camera. Here's the thing, because we all like to live in yesteryears. And this is no lie. In high school, I benched 315. I set the power clean record at 305. And I squatted like 420. And right now, I'm pretty confident I could bench 520 if I needed to. So, kept me outside. How about that? That's all I got to say. And Cdogg, I saw him literally throw a buffalo 20 yards.
It's true.
He picked it up by its tail, just slung it. It was insane.
Yeah. WreckTalk's, he's got a court date. He's got a court date soon for his animal abuse trial for having those sick pythons.
Okay. I thought we were gonna have PETA cancel us live on the internet. Yeah, I mean
he's got those sick pythons, man.
What is that? I mean, first of all, it's so big that it's made the skin whiter coming up. That's what that is. We should go to the gym, Cdogg. We should do a video.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see what we're able to do. By the way, I think we should do this video. You know how on NCAA 14, when you pick a team, it'll have like a numerical rating for offense, defense, and special teams? I think we should do that for Tech for the 2023 season.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Man, I hope I could do it for the 22 season.
No, I mean for this upcoming up season, if there was an NCAA released right now,
yeah,
what would we rate offense, defense, special teams?
I don't know. That's tough.
Hundreds.
Don't they usually do that after the season's over?
Hundreds.
100? All hundreds?
Yeah.
That's funny. Calvin Johnson's like if you max out the sliders on the if you made a player with like all the maximum stats you can give them,
Yes. No, I mean
that's like Calvin Johnson.
It is. First of all, like when you run a 4.3 something, any combine you watch, there might be one or two people that run sub 4.4s in the combine. He did it in someone else's cleats. He wasn't even going to run because when you're as highly sought after or rated as Calvin Johnson, there's really no point in running a 40. It can only hurt you unless you're Calvin Johnson, run a 4.35. Yeah. He had a 42-inch vert, I think, so he can jump nearly 4 foot off the ground, and he's 6'5", 240. I mean, freak. I was on someone's show that was telling me that he's not even top 5 all time, and I was like, how to say you're dumb without saying you're dumb.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Check it out across from the camper here. I got a weight bench.
Oh, I need to come over then.
You see it?
No, I can't.
Yeah, we'll pop some freaking iron. I got a score right too.
You're breaking up, man.
It's kind of dark in here, so you can't really see. Oh, you can't hear me?
I can now, yeah. It looks like that move. It looks like you're filming the Blair Witch Project all over again. Like you're about to say, I am so startled.
In this warehouse.
I'm so startled.
See, the weight bench is there, and then there's a squat. I got a squat too. So
I gotta come up there.
So we should pump some freaking iron.
Yeah,
we can shoot out here too.
WreckTalk's right bicep is in here. Ole Miss football. You started a fight with the wrong pair.
Right bicep.
Yeah. You started a fight with the wrong pair of guns, my boy. Well, we'll see. A lot of people like to flap their gums at old Wreck, but I'm also a black belt in every martial art that has ever been practiced. The only reason I didn't do UFC is because I didn't want to murder someone live on television.
Yeah.
We could do we need that needs to be the next slob event. Slob pride fighting.
I would love to start like a wrestling league of YouTubers. That'd be awesome.
With our personas, and it would go right because we kind of are professional wrestling in a way with the trash talk and the promos that you kind of cut on one another. Yeah. That would work nicely.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
Black belt and eating Snickers, maybe. We'll see. Hey, I'm losing weight. I'm down. I'm like 255 now from like 270.
You are?
Yeah.
Damn.
You can't look at my face. You can't tell I'm losing weight. You can't tell just by looking at me. Y'all gonna find out at the Slob softball game. I plan on not eating between now and the Slob softball game, which is about a month away. So I'll probably be 220 by then.
There you go.
Yeah, 255, B-Bean. That's what a grown man's weight is. What are you, like a $140, 5'1" or something? I mean, I'm like, me and Cdogg are like 6'2", so like we're gonna carry 200 plus. That's grown man stuff.
You're right. Damn right.
How tall are you? I just said.
Yeah, we're about 6'2".
That we are like the two probably bigger in the college football world. Like
Yeah.
Nate's probably the only one that's taller than us.
Jordan Bowman too. None of us have met him in real life, but
Yeah.
Jordan Bowman. They said Jordan Bowman might even be taller than Nate.
He's like 6'6" or something.
I don't know, dude. He's crazy.
Ah.
They said he had to duck down when he's going into doorways and stuff.
What is he, like 7 foot tall? A door frame is 7 foot.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know.
Oh man. Well, let me.
Good old J-Bo.
Yeah. As much trash as we talk, there is a lot of really cool people in the YouTube community.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of 6'6" and 6'7", I'm excited for Graham Knowles. Like, that kid, him and Aaron Philo have been really hitting the recruiting trail. And that's the thing, like, when people sign or are verbally committing, I guess, with Tech, like, they're hitting the recruiting trail for us. Like,
Yeah.
we probably will have, like, maybe one kid flip or two, and we might flip one or two kids. But I think for the most part, this class stays intact leading into next February. I mean, these kids seem sold out. Whatever they're seeing at Georgia Tech, they are bought in 100%.
Yeah, that's something that I was reading the interview that he did with the that CJ Jackson kid.
Yeah.
He was talking about. I think you mentioned it earlier about creating his legacy, and he was saying about how he was staying home, close to his mom, and how that meant a lot to him, that he was going to be able to be around his family and stuff. So yeah, at least for him, I was reading. I feel like he's locked in. Never know with these freaking 18-year-olds. But
Yeah. David GT Dave, quote unquote, says, "Here's a hot take. If healthy, Blaylock will match Calvin Johnson's 05 and 06 stats." If that happened, we would be competing for the ACC. That would mean.
That good? I mean, geez. I mean, you're comparing him to the greatest freaking wide receiver of all time.
Well, I tell you what is another thing I haven't really looked at is like what the quality of defenses we're going to face this year. Like, I don't know what Louisville's defense is going to be like. I don't know what Ole Miss's defense is like. Maybe if the defenses are a little soft that we play, that could happen. But when you're comparing them to the GOAT, I mean, and it's not even the stats that Calvin had, because realize, and I'm not dunking on Reggie Ball, but he didn't have, necessarily the best quarterback throwing him the ball. Calvin made catches that no one made. Like, when that catch he made against NC State, I mean, he made every cornerback that faced him, that Georgia faced him with, look silly. I mean, the dude was special. He says Miami will be soft. Well, that's not a hot take as far as their defense is concerned.
Miami, North Carolina is going to be soft. We're going to run all over that. We're going to curb stomp North Carolina.
I mean, honestly, the only two really good defenses that I think we'll face are Clemson and UGA. Other than that, we're talking about Syracuse, Virginia, North Carolina, Boston College, Miami, Ball State, Wake Forest, Ole Miss, South Carolina State, Louisville. I don't know that any of them have a really good defense.
We don't play Cock and Ball State this year. We play Bowling Green.
Oh, sorry. Who did I say?
And you said Cock and Ball State.
Who's that again, though?
Cock and Ball State?
Yeah.
The Cardinals? What are you asking me who they are?
Louisville?
No. They're like an FCS team.
Oh.
They're like a group. They're a group of 5 team.
Ball State. Oh, that's who I said.
Cock and Ball State.
Bowling Green is who
Georgia actually plays Cock and Ball State. So.
Well, if you're a crappy FCS level school, Georgia's going to schedule you. That's for sure.
No kidding. They're a MAC team, though. They're a crappy MAC team. So, I'm looking forward to that.
I tell you, B Bean is great to have in the chat, because if there's anything you need to know really quick, he's like what Jamie is to
Joe
Rogan.
Yeah.
Like,
he hooks them. Yeah, he hooks you up with He'll hook you up. Any team you mention, he'll hook you up with the schedule.
Bean, what was Calvin Johnson's stats in 2006? What does Blaylock have to do?
I was going to say, if those were the earlier years, then that might be more attainable than what I'm thinking. But when you – because obviously I don't know his stats from 06. Like, yeah. But, those were his earlier years, right? So maybe they weren't anything, like, super crazy. Maybe they were something attainable.
All of a sudden B-Bean has no idea. It's the only time you've ever not known something.
He's the schedule man. He doesn't worry about
what do you mean you don't
stats.
know stats? You telling me you have Georgia Tech's schedule memorized?
I think he comes up with them quick. I think he has them like on standby or something.
Okay, Mystic Gaming, 76 catches, which has to put you top 5 all-time like single-season catch stats. 1,200 yards, 25 touchdowns.
Okay, so I was completely wrong. Like, that is crazy. I don't think there's any way Dominic Blaylock is going to achieve that. That's just insane.
I mean, I do think he's a very
1,200 yards.
Receiver.
We haven't even put up 1,200 total yards total offense like in the past few years, have we? We've had like 700 yards of offense like the whole season or something.
Now, 05, they're saying 888 yards, 8 touchdowns. He could do that, I think. That's
maybe
reasonable.
that's like
a lot of 8s.
I mean, maybe. I mean, that's like a really good year because that's pushing it from what. If you look at some of the stats from our receivers in the past few years, they've been not great.
Well, if that does happen, that means that either Zach Pyron or Haynes King will probably become the single-season passing yardage record for Tech, because that would mean they're having like 3,800, 4,000 yards through the air with what I think Buster Faulkner's offense is going to do.
Yeah.
Which, look, that would be great. I mean, it would make Cdogg and me's job a lot easier on YouTube. We would be talking.
Dude, you have no idea how easy it is to trash talk when your team actually wins. Like Luke, like he's a North Carolina fan on the ACC show. Like he can't say anything to me.
No.
Like I can't imagine some of these teams go undefeated and they win all these games every year. It's got to be. It must be nice. But yeah, I'm sure you're such a great trash talker because your team wins all these games. Well, try trash talking when your team goes 3-9. It's not so easy.
No, and then keep showing up week after week. Because here's the truth, and I'm more talking about people that just are in the comment section, but they'll disappear if their team isn't good.
It's brutal. Like when your team sucks, like. When I go places, like sometimes I get absolutely torn up. I get like eaten alive, and so these places just by showing up, dude. It's brutal.
I can't even if I wear my Tech stuff, I'm trying to buy stuff. Like I told, in the winter, I went to Batteries Plus, and I had this Felice Bobby Dodd sweatshirt on, and the guy started trash talking me. I'm like, I'm trying to give you money. I don't understand what's wrong with you. Like I know that you are a Georgia fan, and things like common sense doesn't compute for you. I should have just walked out and been like, screw you, I don't need batteries. I'm Amish now. I don't want power.
That's funny. I had a little 10-year-old kid. I was walking by and he got out of his truck and yelled GD at me and stuff.
What's wrong
and I'm
with
like,
him?
He's like, back to back, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, back to back arrests.
Yeah. How to say you're unemployed without saying you're unemployed. You yell GD.
I know. But that's in real life.
Yeah.
It's even worse. It's worse in live streams and comment sections. Like, you get absolutely destroyed. It's tough when your team sucks. It really is. It's tough to keep showing up, but we're the few.
We're fans.
We're proud. The second fans. And look, we're headed for better days. And me and you, we're gonna lead We're gonna lead Tech Nation
Yes.
into the promised land.
We'll lead you to the promised land. And we're all following Brent Key.
My wife just said we're false prophets.
Well, she's been misinformed. And I can't blame her. You know, when you this would be like, are we like the Alex Joneses of like
Yeah. She's
on
a
the
heretic.
Friends?
Heretic.
Our blood runs gold and white. We're gonna be good this season. All
We
right.
are.
The demons of UGA are lying to you.
I sure would feel bad if we got all these people hyped up and we sucked this year. But look, I've looked at it from every single angle. I've looked at it. I just don't see how we could possibly be any worse than last year. We had everything we had going against us last year. We still get the 5 wins. Like, there's just no way we're gonna be. There's just no way.
No, because
I don't understand people who think that we're not going to be better next year. I just don't.
no, not when like you go up to Athens and stun Georgia for a half, and it really didn't get out of hand until really later into the third quarter. You beat North Carolina on the road, you beat Pitt on the road, and even people like Slim, and I forget the name of the channel. I did a reaction video where they're like, oh, well, people tend to play good for the interim, so, you can't even give him credit for what he did as the interim. And it's like, sure you can. Sure you can.
Yeah.
Brent Key is the truth.
He's the truth.
Brent Key's a winner. Brent Key never lost to Georgia as a starter. All right.
That's right. So.
I can't wait. I can't wait until Tech starts turning heads, and I'm gonna be like, I told you.
Yeah, and
Cdogg and Rick told you.
And that's something that can happen as soon as the. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked something. And that's something that can happen as soon as the first game, week 1. I mean, it's a Friday night, so we're the only other game on that night against Louisville. So a lot of people have Louisville as some type of dark horse, like.
Yeah, based on their coach.
Surprise team to push for this and that in the ACC. Well, what better opportunity for us to come out and beat them?
Well, I don't really understand Louisville -8. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it seems like everyone and their brother seems to think Louisville is going to be an 8-win team.
Yeah.
And I think that's as crazy as the Miami team last year being ranked like 15th. Because it's based on the same thing. You think Mario Cristobal is some excellent coach. And he might be, but it's his first year.
Yeah, Jeff Brom is – I mean, the thing is you just never know because you see some coaches take over and they're immediately better, like Mike Elko at Duke, right? I mean, he took them from a 3-win team to an 8-win team. So you have to be really, really good. It's just hard to tell. With a first-year head coaches, you just don't know. But for me, for my money, I'll take Brent Key and his continuity and what he's already shown me on the field over that, So, I mean, Louisville might be good. We might lose the first game. I would be okay with it if these people are right and Louisville is like an 8 or 9 win team. That wouldn't hurt my feelings as much. I really would really think it would be really good for us to win that game.
But it's important. You keep clicking a button.
I keep doing that. Maybe I should put my phone down. But I really do think it is important. And if we if we do want to lose it, I just hope it's because Louisville's good and these people are right,
Crowded Booth in the chat saying, locked in, folks, and go Tigers. What do you think you're doing?
Jeez.
You know what? Georgia Tech's going to have a better record than LSU this year. How about that?
That's funny.
LSU about to win CWS. Oh, College World Series. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Go Tigers.
We're going to hit that ball. Come on in.
Home's way, make it.
Boomhauer actually went to LSU, I think. Pretty sure.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Studied criminal justice there. Yeah, because his character at the very last episode, it reveals he's like a state trooper or something.
Yeah.
Bryce, you have any feel for any other recruits we're going to land on the Tech side? Because I don't think this 4-star train is stopping here. No, sir.
Well, we are on the hook. I don't remember the kid's name off the top of my head, but Bryce Kuhn hinted at it in his Discord server. He was saying that Brent Key might have leaked the next commitment because this 4-star athlete, I forget his name, but he said that he's announcing his commitment on July 4th, and Brent Key retweeted it.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's a good sign. The kid's really highly rated, but it just says athlete on his profile. But I completely forget his name. Sorry about that. But that's exciting too. So, and then Aaron Joe came on there and said we're not done yet. Isn't that him that said that?
Yeah, it is Aaron Joe, who is our general manager, football general manager right now. Ex-player, played offensive line, I think, under Paul, and got him from Alabama.
Yeah. Said we're not done yet, so it's exciting, man. It's exciting, and I don't know. I feel like nobody's talking about it. I don't know.
No,
but then I guess you look at the recruiting rankings, and I was surprised. I was looking at the rivals ranking because we're number 13 right now, but I was looking at it, and it's right below us was Rutgers,
yeah,
and right above us was Stanford. So, I mean, I think a lot of the crappy teams that fill their teams with 3 and 4 stars or 3 stars early, kind of get boosted early on, and then they kind of they get leapfrogged by the better teams later that get the 4 and 5 stars. But
Troy Stevenson,
I don't expect us to finish in 13, but I think Troy Stevenson. I don't expect us to finish at 13, but I think if we can get maybe the Troy Stevenson and some other, solid recruits. I mean, we're close. I think we could end up with the top 25 class. I think we could hover around that 20-25 mark.
100%. Yeah, evidently he's a cornerback, wide receiver. Might be better suited according to this guy, for 247. Seems like defense is a bit more natural for him. Ran an 11-second 100-meter. Yeah, man, if we could finish, let's say we finish with a top 20 class, that would be a huge win.
Yeah, because that's around where Jeff Collins was, and that was really good. So, if we recruit like that, we're, and you can build off of that. We never got to see that with Jeff Collins. He was always having to sell all this to the recruits, without any real proof of concept. And we never got to see what Tech recruiting could become if we have a good recruiter and wins on the field. I think it can compound I think it can reach new heights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we don't really know what Jeff was selling them. It could be that he was selling them, hey, you're a 4-star, you come here, you're going to start, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Instead of we're going to develop you into being, an NFL type player.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Brent Key's able to get those types of classes, and I don't know. I think once we come out and shock people, I think we're gonna get a lot of attention, and that's good for us. That's good for our channels too.
It is good for our channels because, the premier college football channels are not talking about Tech right now, and they're not talking about Brent Key. And I'm talking. I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm talking about you, Josh Pate. I'm talking about you,
dude. Don't even get me started on Josh Pate. I had a thing with him, and he actually responded. Yeah. I'm gonna make a follow-up video to that probably soon because, they have absolutely not mentioned Georgia Tech once.
Nope.
Like, I get it, you come into the off season and you want to talk about all the big schools, but we haven't been mentioned once on that show in the entire off season, or during the season last year when Brent Key took over. It was a really good story, and I mean, it's like nothing. So,
but he
it's
talked
clear
up
that
Jeff Collins. Like, he did a video on, like, that Tech was this sleeping giant in the South, and Collins was going to bring it to prominence. I don't even think he did a video on Jeff being fired. Did he?
No. I think it got mentioned on the show. They were talking about hot seat at one point or something like that. But, he was super stoked. He felt, Josh Pate felt, and this is something I feel strongly about because I've been a Josh Pate fan and a Late Kick fan for years. And going into the 2021 season, he perfectly encapsulated what I was feeling. You hired Jeff Collins in 2019. He sucks. Goes into 2020, still sucks. You're heading into 2021, and it was 2019 was the ready, 2020 was the aim, 2021 was supposed to be the fire. We were supposed to get to at least a bowl that year. Do not freaking tell me that roster could not have made a bowl.
Yeah.
Do not tell me that, because guess what? The next year, after we sucked that year, our roster got absolutely gutted. We had our worst roster last year than we did the year before, and we came within a C hair of making a bowl. You see what I mean? So don't tell me that 2021 squad couldn't have made a bowl. That's what he was arguing with me. And I made a video talking about how I thought that he doesn't talk about Tech because he's misinformed. And he actually responded, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, I remember that. What did he say in response? I think he has like a boiler point of like you didn't understand what he was saying.
So I was surprised. First of all, I never thought he would respond because the guy runs the world's biggest college football podcast. Yeah, and he's responding to me, which it was really cool. I really appreciate that he took the time to respond to me. But I was surprised because I thought that if he were to see my video, it would change his mind, but it didn't. He doubled down, and he doubled down because I was pointing out. I thought I made some really good points about how, Jeff Collins compared to Brent Key, and how Jeff Collins was really fumbling the bag and underutilizing his roster and not running things the right way, and how he squandered the potential of the 2021 team. And ever since so he makes this video saying, bless you.
Jeez.
He makes this video saying, the 2021 season was supposed to be the fire season, and it turns out it was a complete disaster. And he never. I just got a call. Sorry, but he never mentioned it again. And so I made that video, and he said that his response was that I misrepresented his points or something about that, and his main point was that the Georgia Tech roster was really young. Like, we didn't have any juniors and seniors, which was true. When compared to our competition. Yeah. Like the advanced stats or whatever. When you look at, we were a team of freshmen and sophomores playing against teams like Pitt, who was full of seniors and juniors and seniors and multi-year seniors or whatever.
Then how did we beat Pitt?
Because of COVID. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. Your point exactly. Then how do we, how could our 2022 roster, which was worse than our 2021 roster, come this close with them making a bowl after all these things went wrong, and it's still impossible? I guess what he was saying was that there was no way that 2021 roster could have made a bowl. It's just not true. There were several games, we lost to Northern Illinois because we didn't have juniors and seniors? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you think
Like,
special teams might have had something to do with it, which was Jeff Collins'
we
responsibility?
can't make I mean, we come out here. It's just such an uninformed take. You know what it is? It's excuses. It's excuses. And I'm making a follow-up video to this because I feel strongly about it. It is what it is. He said several things and that hint to he's in contact with Jeff Collins basically, and he is repeating a lot of the excuses that Jeff Collins is telling him. Oh, we had young players. We had the school didn't promise me this and that. That dude. Okay, so it's the school's fault, and it's not having juniors and seniors' fault that we can't make a field goal, or that we false start twice after timeouts, or that our timeout freaking Dabo's laughing at us because we use timeouts poorly. It's COVID's freaking fault. Yeah, he tried to blame COVID too. It's COVID's fault that we have 4 block punts throughout 4 games. Are you kidding me?
Well, why was there not an epidemic of block punts for every team? Like, everyone had to deal with COVID. It wasn't just Georgia Tech.
Right.
And Jeff Brown is saying Pate had a show that they fired Collins too soon. I'll have to go back and look at that, but
I feel like I would have remembered that.
I don't remember that.
That's ridiculous.
If he did, maybe he did a show. It wasn't about Georgia Tech, but he mentioned that they fired Collins too soon. I mean, what more did you need to see with the guy? I mean, I
don't know, man. And the thing is, he also tried to pitch the thing that he wasn't able to recruit because of COVID or whatever. He wasn't able to host kids on campus. That's not true. Jeff Collins had a top 25 class going into the 2021 season. They all
you pressed your button again.
Heck, I'm
now you're upside
Can you
down.
hear me?
Yeah.
My brother keeps calling me. And I can't tell him to bugger off because I'm on here. But it wasn't until it didn't even matter. Jeff Collins was a good recruiter. He had a top 25 class going into the 2021 season. He had several 4-star commits. He had a bunch of commits. And it wasn't until we had a disastrous season that they all decommitted. It wasn't because of COVID that we didn't get them in the first place. It was because we sucked on field and underperformed. And they said, hell no, I don't want to be part of that freaking disaster. So that's why they all decommitted. So we could get the recruits, even during COVID. That wasn't a factor. But,
yeah.
The whole thing just reeks of this is a national media guy who doesn't follow the program closely, and he's clearly getting his information from Jeff Collins, who is feeding him all kinds of excuses. And Josh Pate just doesn't know any better because he doesn't watch Georgia Tech or follow the program closely, and he's not really wanting to, kind of acknowledge the truth because he's friends with Jeff Collins. So that's my that's my rant about that. You done got me fired up about that.
It's this weird world where all of a sudden, don't look at wins and losses. Just trust what this guy is saying. It's like, no, that's backwards. Look at how you play on the field, wins and losses, and I could really care less what you say. I mean, I don't really get it.
Now, apparently, I feel like this is such a cop-out. Apparently, there's also, he mentioned another factor of a lot of promises made during the hiring process to Jeff Collins that weren't fulfilled. He mentioned this in his comment. And obviously he's this insider guy, so he can't tell me what it is that they didn't do. But trust me, bro. Trust me. It's totally their fault. It's the school's fault for not what?
Well, he got more support. He got more support than any coach ever has at Tech.
Paul Johnson, yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And the fans were excited. He had fan support, and the recruits believed in him, and everybody was bought in until it was clear that something was very wrong. and it just snowballed from there. It's like it just feels like a cop out, like I'm some kind of peon, and I can't have the inside information. Like I don't get to know what was promised to Jeff Collins that wasn't followed through on.
Well,
it's like, but trust me, there's like this mysterious thing that happened that made Jeff Collins suck at coaching. Then why did Brent Key take over that same team and produce results? It makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
I don't. Well, then come out and say it. I mean, you don't have any problem trashing Tech now, so just come out and say it. Like I don't really understand why we have to hide behind this thing. And look, this goes into like the whole theme of the video I made about Jeff, which is this guy's immature. He's immature, so he's not going to be able to say like, you know what? I'm glad Tech gave me an opportunity. I messed it up. It didn't work out, and I've learned a lot from that moving forward. Like that would be what I would do, but I mean, and he got $11 million for the privilege of doing it.
Yeah, clearly he learned nothing. He thinks that there was some kind of grand conspiracy that Brent Key tanked so that he could get fired and get the interim job. Absolutely ridiculous.
Which
just
means
ridiculous.
Key must be like the most effective espionage guy. Not only did he make the offense horrible, he made the defense horrible. He's not even a defensive coach. He trashed your special teams. What did Jeff do?
He was in cahoots with the special teams coordinator.
Who was Jeff Collins? Jeff Collins was the special teams coordinator, so he must have hoodwinked Jeff too. Like this is like the deepest. Like if we made an iceberg video about Tech, this would be at the very bottom of like Brent Key trash Tech.
At the bottom, you're right.
Oh my God. Like I don't get how he could really. That's why I think he's like a guy who's admitted to the psych ward and thinks he runs it. I mean, that's exactly what that level of misunderstanding is.
Yeah, so he thinks everybody was out to get him, and they better pay me my money, and he goes around telling everybody that, and then he goes telling all these stories and making excuses to everybody that'll listen, and can't find a job in the meantime.
Yeah, so, and talking about how great Kirby is, and he's not surprised of Kirby's success.
Like and he remember when he was like retweeting every time like a player transferred out of Georgia Tech. He would retweet.
I think he was the go-between to get Sims to Nebraska.
Oh, no doubt, because he's connected to Matt Rule. He's part of that coaching tree. So.
And they're right in the comments. Who said it? Nancy Pie. I mean, good name, but if he's so great, why has he not been hired? Nick Saban loves to hire fired head coaches as, some capacity on his staff. No one's done that with Jeff, and he went to every spring practice for anyone that would have him, including Kirby. None of them want anything to do with the guy. Surprising.
I can't believe he went to Pitt's practice after what he did with the handshake.
Yeah, like disgraceful, man. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, someone needs to slap him into sanity.
I know. Brent Key would kick his ass.
Oh, Brent Key would bend him into a pretzel. There ain't no doubt about that. That would be great. Like, that would be a great way to raise money. Like the
cage match.
Yeah, between Brent Key and Jeff Collins. I don't know how big a guy Jeff is, but yeah.
Yeah, Brent Key would tear his ass up for sure. Just like we're gonna tear these Ole Miss fans up.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait for the Ole Miss game, and I might have to fight my way out of there if we end up winning that thing, because I'm gonna be talking trash to everyone who is in my vicinity. Now, I will have an advantage because I'm sure most of them will be drunk, especially depending. It's a night game, by the way, so they will be good and toasted, and I will be sober.
Oh, it is. Is that announced already?
I think so, yeah, because I remember
cool.
I looked at our schedule. We have 2 night games, and I remember saying neither one of them are at Bobby Dodd. One of them's Ole Miss. Other one is the Friday night opener at the Benz.
They haven't announced all the times yet. They just for those games they announced them.
I think so. Let me make sure. Georgia Tech, 2023.
Because I thought that they do week 1, but I didn't know that they did. I wouldn't think they do like week 4.
7:30. September
Really?
16th, 7:30.
I really want to go now. A night game at the Grove, that would be cool.
Oh man, then we could we could help each other fighting out of there when we win that thing by 25 points or something.
Yeah, let me know when you go to buy the tickets because I do want to go. I really do. Just let me know when you.
Dude, that's gonna be lit. That's gonna be lit. Yeah, I definitely will. Oh man. Well, what else do we need to talk about, man? Like we're on a Monday night here.
I don't know. I feel like we covered a lot tonight. I feel like it was a really good show.
Was a good show. All right, before we go, guys, if you have a question for Rec and Cdogg, put it in the chat. If not, we're probably going to sign off, get some rest, and get to work tomorrow. Let's see. Hayden Murphy says we going to be fighting in the stands when we win on November 25th in Bobby Dodd. Oh, we'll tear both both field goal posts down.
I'm taking that damn thing home with me if we freaking win.
I tell you what, I'll tear down the north end zone. You can tear down the south end zone.
Okay, I'll take the south.
Yeah,
and we'll help tow it. I'm taking that thing home and setting it up in my new house.
That would be awesome.
I know.
What's
right?
the fine now? It's like $75,000, I think. You gotta pay for a school.
Is it
and
to rest the field?
Yeah, well, there's one for tearing down the goalpost. In fact, I think a lot of schools now will have like goalposts that will fall down before you can tear them down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because there's a fine associated with it.
Yeah, it would be worth every penny.
Do you think Tech is improving its football program to create revenue to tackle the debt issues they have? Well, I think they go hand in hand. Like, I don't think they're doing it just so that they can be in some financial spot, but the goal is to have the most successful football program you can have, and in turn, that's going to help your debt problem.
Yeah, that's a tough situation with the debt. I mean, I don't envy like J-Bat who has to come in and deal with that. Like, Tech is so far in the hole over this like 30-year-old debt. It's ridiculous. It's like
from 95.
Yeah, it's like crazy, dude. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's done probably as good of a job as he can. Just hopefully going forward, I don't know. I'm really hoping we get into the Big Ten. If the ACC goes down. Yeah. If in a perfect world the ACC works out stays together and works out a better TV deal and gets more money. But if the ACC were to collapse, I think getting into the Big Ten would be huge for paying off that debt. I just hope that we're willing to do what it takes to do that.
Yeah. Stan Garner says, "What vid are you doing if we beat Ole Miss?" It'll be right after we beat them. I'll be pointing out like your team sucks. Lane Kiffin is an absolute disgrace, not only to college football but the entire human race. It'll be probably an hour of that.
I'll raise hell for sure too.
Yeah, we might.
Raise hell.
We'll have to find some other Tech fans. It might be like in the NBA when like they had this brawl with the Pistons or something, like players going. It'll be something like that. It'll be
Palace at the Palace.
Yeah, it'll be like that. Well, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this special Monday night show with Cdogg and WreckTalk. We'll be on again Sunday, or I definitely know. I know we'll do a show Sunday. And I didn't say this either. So this is the plan for me moving forward in the season. I'm doing 2 videos a week, every Tuesday and Friday. Every Tuesday is going to be a position group breakdown leading into the season. Then Friday will be whatever's going on with Tech. At that point, yeah, that's 20 videos, 10 weeks, leads us into September the 1st. So be looking out for that. What you got coming up, Cdogg?
I don't have a plan as far as uploading schedules, but I thought about doing kind of like what you're saying, but that's a lot of work.
It is.
That's a lot of.
I might regret that.
Breakdown and stuff. I've thought about doing coaching profiles, which I might do that. I did one on. I actually did one on the man himself before he was before he became the head coach.
Okay.
I did a video about Brent Key. Yeah, he was like on fire. He was recruiting like 4-star offensive linemen. Like 3 of them committed at once, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. And I looked into him and realized how cool he was and how passionate he was about Georgia Tech. And I went and watched his opening press conference, and that was an idea I had a little while ago, coaching profiles. So maybe I'll do that. Marco Coleman would probably be fun to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I might do something like that if I get the freaking well. But don't worry about content creation as far as Cdogg comes, because I got a bunch of stuff cooking. Don't you worry about it.
All right.
Now that this talent show's over.
Yeah. Georgia Tech's got something cooking, and WreckTalk and Cdogg got the content cooking. Guys, I appreciate everyone participating in the chat, everyone who's watching. Mike Doug for the super chat. T-Branch227 for becoming the first member. Guys, there's a new sun coming up over the horizon. It's a great time to be a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. Y'all have a good night.
It's true.